Hi friends, before I start this episode of First Cup, I want to help you with your Christmas gift shopping plans. Do you have someone special on your list who is hard to shop for? Or are they interested in unique one-of-a-kind gifts? Then Wishing Stars Native Creations is your answer. My dear friend Chris Mayer has been making Native American jewelry for several years and is ready to help you give that special someone in your life a one-of-a-kind gift. Just go to www.facebook.com/Wishing Stars Native Creations. That's facebook.com/Wishing Stars Native Creations. It's all one word. Wishing Stars Native Creations. Go there today and find out how Chris can help you. She accepts several forms of payment, including money orders and PayPal.
Time to get up, get out of bed, fill your cup and get ahead.
This is an ABC color presentation.
William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times.
Meow, business pro. Meow.
Good morning, my friends. Let's try that again. Good morning, my friends. Well, there's a new restaurant in New York City that doesn't let customers talk to each other during their meals. When they heard of that, the President and the Republican Party both said, "Table for 200, please." Good morning, my friends. I'm Joe Haffner. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, 2013, and you know what that means? It's time for your first cup.
Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on his face, and he's shining a salute to the American race. Oh boy, it's swell to say, good morning, USA.
And welcome to First Cup for the 15th day of October 2013. You know, I got everything ready pretty much on time, even though one of my show prep services fell through this morning. Thankfully, it's a free service, so I'm not too upset about that. I had alternates to get my materials for the most part. But then I realized I forgot to pull my boom mic down on my headset. And that's what you heard that little fumbling sound a little bit ago. I apologize. That was not very professional. But this is amateur podcasting at its best, and it does get better as time goes on. At least I'll try to make it better for you on this most productive day of the work week for you 9-to-5ers. Thanks for tagging along, and if you're listening live, or if you're listening again in podcast form, welcome back. A lot to get to in terms of news items. I'll get that underway in just a moment. But first things first, I want to thank my many sponsors for today's program, starting off with Chris with Wishing Stars Native Creations, and also to my dear friend Colin Marshall with Marshall Woodworking, and have details on that in just a little bit, and as well as to Maria with Fine Art Today. So have details on those various businesses throughout the program, so be listening, okay? And also for a chance for you to advertise on this program as well. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I just like to do it every now and then. If you wish to get in touch with me via email, you can do so by going to your inbox and then typing in Gunther'sHouseOfFriends@gmail.com. Again, my email address is Gunther'sHouseOfFriends@gmail.com. Also, you can give me a call on Skype at G800-486-8437 and leave a message. That's G800-486-8437. An easy way to remember that is to get out your old telephone, your old push-button telephone, your old landline, because most of us don't use them anymore. and spell out G800. That's the letter G, 800. Spell out Gunther, and that comes up to 486-8437. Follow me on Twitter at jhaffner99. That's the letter J, my last name spelled Haffner, and the number 99. jhaffner99 on Twitter. And you can also follow me on my website at tinyurl.com/Gunther's House. That's good on your PC, your Mac, your Linux, or tablet computer, or on your smartphone, whether it be an Android, iOS, or Windows phone. That's tinyurl.com/Gunther Mobile. Plus, you can listen to back episodes of this program by downloading the Stitcher app, available on the opening page of my website, down toward the bottom of the main screen, or on Spreaker. That's Speaker with the R after the P, Spreaker.com. Be heard. Well, what's on my mind for today? Of course, we're now in the third week of the federal government shutdown. Doesn't look like anything has really progressed, and it's been 15 days since the federal government shut down, ceased all but essential services, furloughing over 800,000 workers, and although roughly nearly half of those have been since been called back into work, but the other 500,000 still waiting to get the word. Now, for many of America's poorest and most vulnerable populations, the results have been devastating. But the federal government is a mammoth institution, and when it shuts down, not everything stops at the same time. It takes time for the effects of lost grant money and halts of state aid to be truly felt. If the shutdown drags on until November 1st, God forbid, those effects will soon become more obvious, and for those who already are hurting the most, things will become significantly worse. Now, here are some of the worst-case scenarios that could happen if the government shutdown is still in place on Friday, November 1st. We could see more Head Start closures. Thousands of preschool-aged children from low-income families have already been forced out of Head Start child care. The same thing could happen on November 1st, to happen to thousands more. At the beginning of each month, the Department of Health and Human Services typically awards or renews year-long grants to dozens of Head Start programs across the country. Some 23 programs in 11 states saw their grants expire on September 30th, but on October 1st, there was no functioning HHS around to renew the grants. So as a result, all 23 of those programs, caring for about 19,000 toddlers in total, lost their funding. That's more than the population of Kirksville, my friends. Kirksville has a little over 17,000 people, based on the last census. And some of those preschools were forced to close down entirely. Now, the cuts scheduled to occur on November 1st would be far more wide-ranging. Head Start programs in 41 states, caring for over 86,000 children, will see their grants expire on October 30th. That's according to the National Head Start Association. Meanwhile, millions of veterans could lose their VA benefits. The Department of Veterans Affairs is due to distribute more than $6 billion in benefits to American military veterans at the start of next month. But if the federal government is still shut down at that point, the VA will have to delay or skip out on those payments, affecting as many as 5.1 million veterans. So while you Tea Parties may be cheering on the government shutdown, you're denying 5.1 million veterans their rightful benefits. You're denying 19,000 kids in 23 states an education. Now, granted, it's preschool, but each derailment throws them that much further behind. Many of the affected recipients suffer from lingering war wounds, physical and mental, including some 433,000 fully disabled veterans. About 500,000 veterans and military spouses who are currently attending college might also lose tuition assistance. The shutdown could totally cancel out 3 months of economic growth. Financial analyst Mark Zandi estimates that a month-long shutdown could reduce growth by between 1 and 1.5%. Now, without a shutdown, this quarter was expected to see the economy grow by about 1.5%. Breaking even is sometimes good, but not in this case. Low-income people in many states will lose nutrition assistance. Both SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, commonly known as food stamps, and WIC, the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children, are funded through the rest of the month, but the U.S. Department of Agriculture is making no promises for that program after the end of this month. If the shutdown continues into November, it will be up to many state governments to find money for SNAP and WIC or cut benefits for the low-income households which rely on these programs. State and local agencies may have to cut energy assistance programs. As the weather gets colder, many low-income Americans are going to rely on government subsidies just in order to heat their homes. State and community-based agencies have not been receiving the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP, funds they use to provide these subsidies, and so will must either cut the program or pay for it themselves. I don't know about you, but most states can't afford it for very long, if at all. Wisconsin has already put its Wisconsin Home Energy Assistance Program on indefinite hold, and other states may soon follow. Agencies in states such as Oregon, Massachusetts, and Iowa may soon be similarly affected. Low-income families could miss their welfare checks. For example, in the state of Arizona, over 5,000 families have already lost their monthly temporary assistance for needy families checks as a result of the shutdown. In November, another 11,000 Arizona families could lose their benefits as well. We're talking over 16,000 people, my friends, without energy assistance. Now, Arizona may not be the coldest state in the country, but they do have some cold winters down there. North Carolina's Health and Human Services Department recently suggested that residents of that state could also lose their TANF benefits. Again, that's the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families benefits, if the shutdown lasts into next month. Domestic violence shelters could be forced to close. Many shelters for abused spouses and children rely heavily on monthly grants from the federal government provided to them, either directly or filtered through state agencies. In Nevada, for example, which has the highest domestic violence fatality rate in the country, the state government will continue to finance local domestic violence shelters for as long as it can, though it may not have the funds to do so without federal aid through the rest of this month. So just another scenario of the government shutdown that you might not be aware of. And pretty soon it's going to affect the private sector as well. You may not like these government subsidies, but they do generate economic dollars for all of us. Well, let's see here. Another big concern of mine, and this was a big story in the news yesterday. The National Security Agency, the NSA, for months they have been denying that they've been spying on Americans. Well, we called their bluff, didn't we? Seems that the NSA has been sifting through millions of contact lists from personal email and instant messaging accounts around the world, including those of Americans, in its effort to find possible links to terrorism or other criminal activity, according to a new published report. Remember how a few months ago they said they weren't spying on Americans? Even the president himself said that the NSA is not doing that. I didn't buy it for a minute either, did you? I didn't think so. I'm a liberal Democrat, and even I didn't buy that, Mr. President. Come on. Well, the Washington Post reported late yesterday that the spy agency intercepted hundreds of thousands of email address books every day from private accounts on Yahoo, Gmail, Facebook, and Hotmail that move through global data links. Four of your biggest free email services in the world, especially here in America. The NSA also collects about 500,000 buddy lists from live chat services and email accounts. At the risk of stirring up family dirt, 4 years ago, one of my computers was infected by a Trojan virus that got into an external hard drive